Blylock, fourth grade worksheet, lesson 24. And today what I'm going to be covering is addition of decimals and subtracting of decimals and unit transfer and word problems. So to start off, let's do addition of decimals. And I think this shouldn't be too difficult, but this is basically, you can treat this as regular adding. So basically what that means is that it's like the ones in the tens place, instead you're adding another place essentially. So for number 1, 1.3 plus 2.6. Another way you can kind of see this is 13 plus 26. So let's just solve it like it's 13 plus 26. If we did 13 plus 26, we'll get 39. But wait, since this one has a point and a point here, we would just add a point here, and look, the answer is just 3.9. Boom. Moving on, let's do 14.5 plus 2.5, which is exactly the same thing again. When you do 25, you move it over, and then you get a 7 and then a 1. And again, put the decimal, 17.0. And I guess you kind of get the gist of this once you basically do it, but I'm going to just do the every other, just the odd of it. So 1.6 times 9.6, again, 3, 1, 1, 1, so 11.3. 7, 3.56, but wait, there's another place for this one. You always got to make sure that your things are lined up perfectly so that you can get the correct answer. So similarly, like again, just do the same thing, and you get 8.16. All right, and then moving on, 9, 4.87 plus 2.9, 7, and then 7, and then 1, which that's going to give you 7, so that's 777, which is a pretty funny number in my opinion. But anyways, moving on, 11, 4.61 plus 3.69. Treat it like you're basically doing your subtraction, and you get 4.3 as your answer for number 11. Moving on, we're going to do some subtraction, and this one's pretty easy too. So 2.7 minus 1.2, what is that, 5, 1? Yeah, 1.5. It's basically the same thing as that, but you're treating it as a decimal. And 3.6 minus 0.4, this is actually easier, which that's going to just give you 2 and 3, so that's 3.2. Moving on, number 5, 2.16 minus 1.6, that's just 1. Boom. Moving on, number 7, 2.6 minus 0.8. That's a little bit of thinking now. And if we actually have to think about that, we just move it over. 16 minus 8, 8. And that's just 1.8. Moving on, number 9, 15.2 minus 3.4. Again, like number 7, we're just going to do the same thing. Carry it over. 12, 8, 1, 1, so 11.8. And then last but not least, number 11, 6.25 minus 3.4. We're going to treat it similarly, move the 5 down, carry this over, and then 12, and then we get 8, and then we get 2.85 as our answer for number 11. Alright, moving over, we're going to do some unit transfer, and some key things you need to learn is that this. Okay, so you need to learn that in 1 feet there are 12 inches, and in 1 yard there are 3 feet, and in 1 yard there are in 1 yard, yes, there are 3 feet, and give me a second, sorry. In 1 yard there's 3 feet, and and this should be enough information for you to basically quote unquote solve it. But honestly, I'm just gonna give the whole unit conversion. 1 mile is actually just 1760 feet. And if you know all of this, you should be in pretty top-notch shape, honestly, to solve these problems. So to start off, since I basically gave the answers to you, so for number 1 it's just going to be 12, and for number 3 it's going to be this. And I gave you all the answers because this is actually something you need to memorize. And if you want to memorize all the units, then yeah, you could go ahead. Like for number 5 here, it says 2 feet and how many inches. So if we know that in 1 feet there are 12 inches, all we have to do is 2 times 12, because now there's 2 feet, meaning that there's 2 12s. So that's going to give you 24 as our answer. Moving on, number 7, 3 miles in blank feet. And since we know that in this 1 mile there's 1760, we're just going to multiply again. And let's see what we get. 0, 8, 1, should be like so, and then there. All right, so for number 7 it should be this, and then number 9, 960, and how many inches, how many feet. So if we know that in if there's 12 inches in 1 feet, we're just going to divide by 12, because now we're just trying to convert back to feet. And how many 12s go into 96? Let's see. I'm going to think a little bit on this one. I think 8. Yeah, 8. And that actually divides out pretty fairly well. And that just gives you 80 as our answer for number 9. Then moving on, number 11, 12 yards and blank feet. Okay, 12 yards and blank feet. What would that be? If we know that in 1 yard there are 3 feet, we're just going to do 12 times 3, which gives you 36. And that's 36 feet. Thank you. Alright, moving on, we're going to go do some word problems. And these ones shouldn't be too bad. We're just going to do number 1 and number 3 maybe. How many times does digit 1 appear in 1 through 100? Okay, this is actually pretty hard. So you actually have to like write it all out, but since I don't think you really need to do this, I'm just going to tell you the answer. It's just going to be 21 digits. And the reason for that is what you have to do is, since in 100 there are possible ways to get ones. So you could get one from the ones place, the tens place, and basically ones and tens, meaning that you're gonna do 100 divided by 5, and then that's gonna give you 20. But don't forget, there's one of the exceptions where actually there's a 1 in the beginning where it's a 0, 1, and so you gotta account for that. So that's why it's 21. But moving on, we're just gonna do 3. Don't worry about 1; it's a hard one. But 3, it says James is 6 years older than his sister. 5 years ago, he was 11 years old. How old is his sister now? And don't mind the spelling of this. It's actually not that bad. So 5 years ago, he was 11 years old, and that means that James is 6 years old. So 5 years ago, he was this. So we're gonna basically do how to solve this is we're gonna do 11 plus 5, because this was 5 years ago, which gives you 16, and then 16 minus 6, because James is older than 6 years, which should give us 10. So that means his sister is 10 years old. And yeah, that's basically it.